Hi, it's Damien again. Thanks for joining me. I think one of the things I want to talk today about is fear through the lens of anxiety and depression. Now, I won't tell you that depression, anxiety, and any other neurological challenges or psychological issues that you might be suffering from don't have a clinical basis. But the ideas surrounding depression and anxiety, I want to offer a different perspective or a new lens to see them at. It was once told me that depression is the mind thinking and fearing about things in the past, where anxiety is the base of it, is fears of thinking about things in the future. The ideas around fear based thoughts like anxiety and depression is ideas around narratives, stories, things that your mind tends to think about through the lens of time. We're either worried about things in the past or anxious about things in the future. I think one of the things that we're not realizing is how powerful the mind really shapes our emotions, how the stories and narratives helps us to understand what we are experiencing. But all at the base of it is just neuropsychological and nervous system out of alignment with its environment. And then our mind crafts around the stories and the meaning behind what we're experiencing, further compounding the nervous system and the neuropsychological perception of reality. The point I'm making here is that we often do not realize the nervousness, the anxiousness. These are ways of us and our minds telling us that we're probably misperceiving our experiencing, to take pause and to see it differently. You see, I work with a lot of really brilliant scientists, physicians, doctors, and really intellectually driven people. And one of the biggest strengths they have is their intellect, but it's also their biggest weakness. Because the stories and narratives that we come up with can easily justify the core base root of the emotions that we experience, which is most often fear. This is why emotional intelligence, or EQ, emotional quotient, is so super important for us to understand what our emotions are telling us. I like to see and understand emotions through the concept of energy, or what I like to say, energy in motion. That's essentially what your body is regulating, the amount of energy that is flowing through your nervous system and the sensations that your body interprets them at. And if you can think about your narratives and stories that your mind is telling you and take a step back to say, what am I anxious about? Or what am I depressed about? Those simple questions allows you to start to frame what is it that you're specifically focused on. And the more you ask these introspective questions, you can start to really tease out how your body is regulating its perception of its reality. And so when you start to express anxiousness or depressive thoughts, see it as a signal. See it as a signal to pause, take a huge deep breath, preferably 3 to 4 times, to help calm the nervous system. And then pose those questions. Am I depressed? And if I am, what am I depressed about? Am I anxious? And what am I anxious about? These introspective questions allows you to take pause Take and stock and understanding of where you're at in the present moment, and then gives yourself some time to maybe change the narrative. For example, I have people that are worried about their businesses all the time. I don't have enough money. The money's not coming in. Or even worse is that things used to be so much better. Why are things so much more harder now? These narratives are the ones that are holding you back. So, for example, I always try to tell a client, if you're anxious about revenue, money, or things in the future, take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what is it about the money that you're worried about? What does it mean to me when money is not coming in or when money is going out? What is it that the money is actually creating? What type of life is it being used for? Or even, what things have you missed in the past? What things have you regret from the past? And then ask yourself, what does it mean in the present moment? These little introspective practices can go a long way to help you to gain perspective and create a little bit of clarity so the next steps become that much easier to take. If you want to go deeper into this, feel free to reach out. These are things that I work on constantly. Throughout the years of working with very highly intellectual people, I understand that sometimes the mind can carry us through different paths that we never intended. And so hopefully I can offer some conceptual frameworks that helps you to ground yourself so that you can find yourself, so you can create the life that you really truly want. Again, this is Damien. Hopefully this will help you on your path.